Our opponents tonight, the Red Eddies from Little High School.
And Peter Gribben is behind there.
Number 12, a sophomore, Jade Perry. Portland, double zero, a senior, Rose Griffin. A guy from level 14, a sophomore, Grace Fontaine. A forward, number 11, a senior, Andrea Lynch. A center, level 34, senior, Jordan Reynolds. A guy from number 5, senior, Taylor Simon. Guy for number 22, junior, Piper Norcross. The guy for number 10, forward, Sheila Eubanks. And number 31, a senior, Kaylee Gibson. For number 3, senior, Kate Johnson. Coaching staff, Greg Lilly. Head coach, Greg Gibson, along with Bill Walton, Mr. Belly, and Don Daigle. For Portland, head coach, Jay Lowry, Lisa Hendricks, and Dylan Goodman. A certified athletic trainer, Ryan Lucas. Officials for tonight's game by Dennis Pro and Dave Moran. And everybody please stand for our national anthem.
All right, Seth, you all ready? We had a couple games we couldn't do because of scheduling conflicts, but we're back at it. We should be good to go for the next 2 or 3 games, and then the Bangor game is going to be covered by the Portland High boys varsity crew for us. They're going up to Bangor to take the boys game, and they've been gracious enough to save us the long trip and tape the Bangor game in another week or so for us while they're up there.
So Portland is in white, Edward Little is in maroon. And turnover on Portland on the and the refs are discussing something. It's into the paint, and it's good. Reynolds with the 2.
Great finger roll basketball drop up there.
Eubanks misses. And Portland will keep the ball. And down into Lynch, puts it up. Rebounded by Norcross, and almost stolen by Portland.
Yeah, that was a great anticipation. If she had a little bit more room and wasn't so close to the out of bounds line, that was a definite heading to the basket. Wow. Edward Little heading down like they thought the ball went off them. And, you know, maybe it did, and they were just being good sportsmen, but the referee said, nope, still your ball.
And into the paint. Perry with the basket. So, and Edward Little steals it. And Edward Little out to a quick 6-0 lead.
Well, Edward Little playing some stifling defense early on here.
First on the team.
Timeout for Portland. The basket was Jade Perry.
Yeah, you know, this is a perfect time for a timeout. 6:21 left to go in the first quarter. It's 8-0, and we'll be back.
So back from the timeout. Let's see what Portland drew up. And another steal. Basket by Fontaine. And knocked out of bounds by Edward Little.
That's it. Stay with it.
Inbounded to Rose. And Rose Griffin going to the line for 2.
First person on number 22.
Yeah, just rolled out. That would have been nice if it would have dropped for 2 and getting 1 free throw, but
First foul on Piper Norcross. And 1 of 2 for Griffin. And Portland almost with the steal. Remains Edward Little ball. And Fontaine threw it off of a Portland defender to keep the ball.
well, that was a heads-up play, and that's unfortunate.
And Jordan Reynolds with the 2. And it looks like Portland's going to make a wholesale change. And Lynch with the defense, and it's stolen by Portland. And it's missed.
And we have a timeout. So with 5:19 left to go in the first quarter, it's Edward Little 12, Portland Bulldogs 1.
And we're back. Edward Little to inbound the ball. Rebounded by Walsh. And Walsh rebounded by Eubanks and is fouled.
You know, and that was a lot of good ball movement there by Portland. Getting the ball around, trying to find the open player, and they got the ball up and they got the rebound.
So the first foul on Jade Perry. Both are good for Kiara Eubanks. And the basket is good by Grace Fontaine. Portland to keep the ball.
Yeah, a little high off the backboard there.
And almost stolen by Edward Little.
And it's a jump ball. Possession error to Edward Little.
Give the Katie Gibson.
Jade Perry with the 2. And inbound pass stolen by Edward Little. Rebounded by Walsh. And back and forth we go. And a 3, no good. Jade Perry with her 4th basket.
Boy, I'll tell you, the passing by Edward Little is pretty darn good. And so with 2:39 left to go in the first quarter, Edward Little has pulled ahead by 15. It's 18-3.
Basket's missed. And a jump ball.
And possession error to Portland.
Katie Gibson, Grace Fontaine, backcourt in the middle.
And a hold on Grace Fontaine.
There were little foul on 14, Grace Fontaine, her second.
And that's her second.
And there's 3 fouls on Edward Little and 4 fouls on Edward Little and 0 on Portland so far.
And it's blocked.
Oh man!
Jordan Reynolds with the 2.
You know, that was sort of a Hail Mary throw and it went swish. Holy smokes.
Kate Johnson with the first field goal for Portland. And 3-pointer is good by Norcross. Hammond with the 2. And Edward Little is speeding up the game. And Sargent misses the putback.
Boy, you're right. This game is speeding up. I'm getting tired just watching it back and forth, back and forth. Half a minute left to go in the first quarter. And it looks like Edward Little's going to slow it down, take the last shot. They're up by 20, 25-5.
Hey, Jimmy, give go here. Hey, give go.
And the 3 is good by Jade Perry.
And so we'll show you the score. At the end of the first quarter, it's Edward Little 28, Portland 5.
Here we go for the start of the second quarter. Edward Little to inbound the ball. And Johnson tipped it. And Portland with the steal. And a foul on Edward Little. They're calling no shot.
And there's a lot of time left in this ball game. 3
Foul
quarters.
on Piper Norcross, her second.
Team foul number 5.
Portland to inbound.
And Portland pretty soon will be in the bonus here.
Inbound pass to Brown for the basket. Edward Little trying to find the open person in the paint, and the basket's good by Jordan Reynolds. Basket's missed by Johnson. And a 3. No good, and Portland will get the ball.
Returning Edward Little, Jake Perry, and Grace Fontaine. Luther Caroline Hammond and Jordan Reynolds.
a bad pass leads to a turnover. So Edward Little to inbound. And Edward Little gets an offensive rebound. Chantel Ouellette with a 2.
Edward Little foul. Number 35, Chantel Ouellette.
Chantel Ouellette with our first foul.
Is it one more foul than Portland's in the bonus, you think? It's 7,
One
right?
more foul, and Portland will be shooting 1-and-1 at the line. Johnson with the baseline drive, and it's a kick ball.
Jordan Reynolds is back in for Chantel Ouellette.
And it's stolen.
Wow, great defense right there. Now they just got to get it up the court. There, they made it across.
And Edward Little to get the ball on a Portland turnover.
5.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Edward Little 32, Portland 7.
Johnson almost read the pass.
What was foul? Number 4, Natty Walsh.
Natty Walsh with their first foul. And first foul on Portland.
And that's pretty good. I mean, you know, we're getting almost halfway through the second quarter and your first foul, that's not bad. Well, second foul is not good.
Jordan Reynolds
Portland foul, number 22, Reagan.
with the basket and gone to the line to shoot 1.
Katie Gibson is back, along with number 10, Lydia Solani.
First foul on Reagan Brown.
Jordan Reynolds has 1 free throw.
And that 1 free throw is good. Walsh gets blocked. It's Sargent with the basket. And Johnson with the near miss steal, and it's thrown out of bounds.
Substitutions. That would allow Jay Carey back, along with Chantel Ouellette.
Johnson gets fouled and is going to the line for 2.
Edward Little foul. Number 31,
Kaylee Gibson, her first foul. And because she was in the act of shooting, she's going to go for 2. First one's no good. And 1 of 2.
Free throw, Kate Johnson.
All right, Portland now in double digits.
And a steal by Portland, and Johnson with the basket.
All right, it's now 35-12, Edward Little. 3:45 left to go in the first half.
Jordan Reynolds with her 6th basket.
Boy, you know, it just doesn't get any easier than that, just to stop and pop and swish.
And Johnson misses. Reynolds with the rebound. Olette with the basket. And Sargent puts it up and it's good.
She's had a couple of good shots in there this quarter.
And
boy, that almost looked like a travel.
Jordan
Reynolds with the 2. And Johnson with the D2.
Kate Johnson.
And Olette misses. And Portland with the team rebound.
Yeah, that was great. Sticking underneath the basket, not giving up and getting the ball. And you're right, that was a great team rebound.
Brown misses the basket. Reynolds with the rebound. And a travel.
You know, I'm surprised one of those haven't been called a little bit sooner, because it's been a couple of times where players kind of stopped and shuffled their feet a little bit. But that's, I think, the first travel of the game.
Eubanks for the 2 misses, and it's remains with Portland.
1:07 left in the first half. Edward Little 41, Portland 16.
Stacy drives, and the basket's good.
And we'll see if Edward Little holds for the last shot like they did at the end of the first quarter. Portland putting the press on though. Under 20 seconds.
And a travel.
Okay. Well, that's what I was talking about. They were doing some shuffling of their feet earlier in the game, and now they're being caught at it.
5 seconds left. And the shot is going to be no good. So your halftime score, it's Edward Little 41, Portland 18.
And we'll see you for second half action momentarily.
Here we go for the start of the second half. Quick foul on Edward Little.
And you know, that was a great block out too by the Portland player to get the ball and cause the Edward Little player to foul. That was a great block out.
Jade Perry with her second.
Haley Gibson in Washington, Cal.
And we'll see what Portland came up with at halftime here. Gotta get it going. Gotta get it going. And they do.
Oh, and it's stolen by Edward Little. And Reynolds with the basket. And a three by Sargent. Miss. Gonna have a timeout, Portland, and it's gonna be a full timeout.
And so with 6:48 left to go in the third quarter, Edward Little pulling further ahead, 45-18, and we'll be back.
And we're back. And almost picked off by Sargent.
That was a great defensive play.
Number 11.
Yeah, they got to stop them from getting those easy baskets.
Yes. Stolen. And Edward Little to keep the ball.
Boy, they are double teaming the Portland player and not letting them out of the zone.
stolen by Reynolds. And a 3 is good by Norcross.
Norcross.
5 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
Edward Littlefowl, number 22, Piper Norcross. Her third, second on the team.
And Taylor Sargent going to the line for 2. Piper Norcross with her third foul. And Bolton missed.
Just cannot buy a basket here.
Grace Fontaine.
Grace Fontaine with the basket and going to the line for 1. Rose Griffin with her first foul.
And so with 4:56 left to go in the third quarter, Edward Little pulling further ahead. They've reached the 50-point mark pending a free throw. And
it's missed. And rebounded by Jade Perry and put back in. Reagan Brown going to the line for 2. Jordan Reynolds with her first foul. One free throw is good. And Sargent with the rebound, but puts her foot on the line, so Edward Little to inbound.
Open foul, number 5, Taylor Sargent.
Taylor Sargent with her first foul. And a 3, no good. Johnson with the rebound. And Lynch with the steal, and the basket's good.
oh, that was great. Sticking with that ball and finally picking it up for 2.
Grace Fontaine goes around the defender to get the basket. Taylor Sargent going to the line for 2.
Edward Littlefowl, number 15,
Caroline Hammond.
4 of the team. Taylor Sargent, shooting 2.
That's her first.
Edward 11, 1 of the team. 4 of the team. Taylor Sargent, shooting 2.
2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2.
Caroline Hammond.
And both are good.
Taylor Simon.
And Grace Fontaine
Grace Fontaine for 2.
with the basket. And almost stolen. And the 3 by Sargent is good.
Nice slide off the backboard. And nothing but net. It's good to see finally one of those things drop.
And Jordan Reynolds with the 2. Lynch with the steal, and she gets fouled.
Edward Little foul, number 15, Caroline Hammond, her second. 5-team foul. We'll have Gibson back. Then Eubanks, Rose Griffin are in the ball.
Sargent with the 3. It's good.
Taylor Sargent.
So with 1:37 left to go in the third quarter, Edward Little 58, Portland 29, pending 2 free throws here.
2 free throws.
And Sargent with her second foul. Chantel Ouellette at the line for 2. And Eubanks with the rebound, with the second one no good. And possession arrow stays with Portland.
Number 25, Kiara Fournier, in for Chantel Ouellette.
Eubanks with the miss.
Great defense right there.
Chantel Ouellette back. The Kiara Fournier.
Girls on defense, Indian basket line. Basket line.
And possession arrow to stay with Edward Little.
50 seconds left to go in the third quarter. looks like Edward Little setting up for the last shot of the quarter. They've had the last shot the first quarter, second quarter, and now the third quarter. 10 seconds left to go.
Jump ball. Possession arrow.
No, it's going to be a
Portland.
1.9 seconds. Let's see what they can pull off here. Gonna have to throw it long. Gotta throw it in.
So, no shot.
Well, and you know, the thing about that was they were close to not getting the ball in, and it would have been a turnover to Edward Little with 1.9 seconds left to go on their own side. So that was pretty dangerous. At least they got the ball in and the time ran out. And we'll bring you fourth quarter action momentarily.
And we're back. Edward Little running a stack.
Boy, that was a beautiful give and go.
Now has double-digit baskets. And a miss by Johnson.
Back for Edward Little.
Jay Perry with the basket. And a timeout Portland. And it's a 30-second.
So with 7:17 left to go in the ball game, it's Edward Little 63, Portland 29.
And we're back. And Sargent going to the line for two.
Number 31, Kaylee Gibson, your second.
Kaylee Gibson with her second foul.
Norcross in the left. Back for Edward Little.
And both are good.
Two free throws, Taylor Simon.
And a three is good. Wow.
Three, Grace Fontaine.
Grace Fontaine. Eubanks with a baseline drive is fouled.
Julia Milks her first.
Julia Milks with her first foul. And it's no good. And Ouellette with the basket. Johnson misses. Eubanks with the rebound and is blocked. Johnson with the three. Piper Norcross with the basket.
Well, the speed of the Edward Little team is quite evident here. Moving that ball up the court in no time in scoring. And you could hear that foul all the way up here.
Every little foul, third personal on every foul.
And up here is the little press box that the Red Claws use to broadcast their games from. And they've done a very nice job up here in the expo. And, I remember before they came on, Seth, you weren't doing the games with me at that point, but at one point it was a couple of cinder blocks holding a couple of boards up here that was a little shaky, and they've done a great job in rehabbing this place, and it's quite nice to work here now.
Both are good.
So 5:22 left to go in the game. Edward Little 70 and Portland 33.
The three is missed. Eubanks.
And we have a player hurt, and we'll be back.
And we're back.
And the player walked off on her own. A little sore knee or ankle. Almost stolen.
Willett with the basket.
Boy, they took that time and found the open player.
Baskets miss. And a foul. Piper Norcross going to the line for two. Kara Eubanks with her first.
And free throw by Piper Norman.
1 of 2.
3:18 left to go in the ball game. 73 Edward Little, 35 Portland.
Shayla Eubanks with the long 2.
Oh, that looked like a travel.
And rebounded by Portland. And Shayla Eubanks fouled as she was passive. Kaylee Gibson with her 3rd foul. Thrown out of bounds by Edward Little.
2:07 left to go in the game.
Where's mommy? Yes, Grace is mommy.
Eubanks to the 3. Rebounded by Portland.
Edward Little foul, number 10, Linda Shalani, her first, 10 on the team. Shayla Eubanks at the line, shooting 2.
Linda Solani with her first foul. Shayla Eubanks at the line for 2.
Number 20, Savannah Fisher, and for Edward Little.
And tipped out of bounds on Edward Little, so Portland with the ball.
1.5 minutes left to go in the ball game.
Kaylee Watson with her first foul.
Number 31, Callie Watson. Grace Fontaine at the line, shooting 2.
1:18 left to go in the game.
And both are good.
2 free throws, Grace Fontaine.
Portland Portland to inbound.
1:01 left to go in the game.
And a turnover on Portland.
They'll go for number 21, in for Bailey Gibson.
Jump ball, Portland with the possession arrow. And Eubanks pushes back the defender for the basket.
That's pretty darn good right there. To push the defender off, you're right. You back him right up underneath the basket, throw it up and get two. And the buzzer went off accidentally.
23 right. 23 right.
Portland's going to get the last shot here, hopefully. And a jump ball with 4 players, 2 from each team.
So possession arrow with Portland.
9.2 seconds. They got to get the shot up, though. Got to get that shot up, and they don't get it. So there's your final score. Edward Little 75, Portland 41, and we'll get the handshakes.
Scoring in the game for Edward Little, Caroline Hammond had a basket for 2, Chantel Wyatt had 4 baskets and a free throw for 9. Piper Norcross, 2 threes, 2 twos, and a free throw for 11. Grace Fontaine, a 3, 5 baskets, 2 free throws, 15 points. Jay Perry had a 3 and 7 baskets for 17 points. High score in the game, Jordan Reynolds had 10 baskets, 1 free throw, 21 points.
Wow.
Scoring for Portland, Kiara Eubanks had 2 free throws for 2. Andrea Lynch a basket, 2 points. Grace Stacy a basket for 2 points. Rose Griffin 3 free throws for 3. Regan Brown 2 baskets and a free throw for 5. Shayla Eubanks 2 baskets, 4 free throws, 8 points. High score for Portland with 2 threes, 2 twos, 4 free throws, 14 points. Taylor Sargent.